After picking up their first win of 2019 last night against the Santa Rosa Junior College, Polar Bears ice hockey at UCSB faces a critical West Coast Hockey Conference test and the opportunity to guarantee at least a fifth-place finish in the premier West Coast ACHA Division II Hockey League. Hi, everybody. Eric Havelock with Kyle Nicholas here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. This is the Ice in Paradise pregame show where we remind you you can visit iceinparadise.org to find out about all of the offered skating programs, including youth hockey, skating school, figure skating, and more. All available on the web at iceinparadise.org. And Kyle, it was a much-needed victory for UCSB last night in coming away with the win against Santa Rosa Junior College. The Gauchos outshoot the Polar Bears 51-39 and got a tremendous night from their second line as the trio of Ryan Anderson, Cole Slankovich, and Zach Anchondo had tremendous performance, combining for 4 goals and 9 helpers in the win for UCSB.
It really seems like that performance last night may have been exactly what the Gauchos needed. They needed an opportunity to get a little bit of confidence coming into this one, which is easily and by far their biggest matchup of the season here tonight. This is a tough Fullerton team that the Gauchos have already seen. They came out on the short end down when the game was played in Artesia, but with the Gauchos coming in after scoring 9 goals last night, and especially, as you mentioned, outstanding performances from that entire second line, and in particular, Zach Anchondo. The Gauchos are coming in, confidence flying high. They got the offense clicking. They saw some pucks tickle the line behind an opposition goaltender, which they haven't seen an awful lot of so far in this 2019 segment of the season. But with that going in their favor, we got a new opportunity here tonight, and really things are looking up for the Gauchos in this one.
Anchondo had his team leading 7th and 8th goals of the season. Cole Slankovich, though, vaulted himself into first place on the side in scoring with a 5-helper night. He now leads the Gauchos with 13 dimes on the season and 15 points. The former junior Shark also leads the team in penalty minutes, although I'm sure that head coach Scott Hires will certainly be happier to see him use his mitts more for dishing than, say, for washing of faces.
Absolutely, and you got to give it to the prototypical power forward way of playing the game. That's kind of really been Santa Barbara's way of doing things during this Ice in Paradise era. Not necessarily the flashiest on and off the ice, but when it comes to playing physical, they've never really shied away. We saw some physicality in the game last night against Santa Rosa, another team that really has never shied away from playing that physical style. The Gauchos know how to match that, and that may even come to their advantage here tonight when dealing with specifically the number that the opposition has brought out to this one.
Yeah, just 10 skaters tonight for this Cal State Fullerton side, and already in the early going, looks like Fullerton may be dealing with an issue as their goalie, who's scheduled to make his second start of the season, Scott Baba, has just left the ice sheet and is now sitting down on the bench for Cal State Fullerton. You mentioned the physical nature that this Fullerton side has. They also play with plenty of speed. The Gauchos got 10 power play opportunities in the 4-1 defeat to Cal State Fullerton back on the 1st of December, but the Titans were able to use their speed in the open ice in outshooting UCSB 48-27, as well as getting a 2-goal night from player who is not here this evening in Ethan Chapluk, but certainly have to look out for slick skating defenders in Dylan Kammer and in Andrew Wong.
And Dylan Kammer in particular is the one you have to keep your head up for. Number 10, the captain of this Fullerton team, their leader on and off the ice. He was a staple in their roster last season. He is their leader this year. He is by far the most dangerous Titan out on the ice for this team. And we talked an awful lot about the Fullerton team that took 10 penalties last game. The Gauchos cannot anticipate having that many power play opportunities again tonight. They're going to have to do the best they can to take advantage of the opportunities they're given, especially against a team that's as good with their skates as this Fullerton team. Every single player that's out there on the ice can absolutely fly.
And it should be noted that despite the depressed numbers, having just 10 skaters for tonight's contest, 6 of their top 7 scorers and 8 of their top 10 are all here this evening, including leading scorer number 10, Dylan Kammer, leads the team with 17 goals and 16 helpers for a Cal State Fullerton side that is 6-8-0 overall on the season and 5-5-0 in conference play. UCSB comes into tonight's contest with a 6-5-0 overall record and 4-5-0 in conference play. Both of these teams have a potential 18 maximum possible points this season. Should note that tomorrow's contest for UCSB against Chapman will officially go down as a forfeit, as the Panthers no longer have enough players to field a side that is going to be able to travel to finish out the remainder of their season. Cal State Fullerton, their last game out, defeated Chapman at KHS Ice Arena by a 15-1 total. Of course, there's also the matter as well as to whether or not ice hockey at UCSB will ultimately be making up that game against Long Beach State. It was scheduled for back in November and postponed due to the fires. But if the Gauchos can get a similar fire performance from their second line tonight, it will put them in good positioning to not only guarantee at least a 5th place finish in conference play, but also they could possibly hop Cal State Fullerton to finish 4th. That would be a remarkable result in their first season of West Coast Hockey Conference competition.
We've seen some crazier things happen out here, but it's worth noting that for the Gauchos, all they need right now tonight to guarantee themselves that 5th place position is just to get this game to overtime. 1 point will mathematically seal them into the 5th place spot. Now, obviously, they want to come out with the 2 points on this one because that will still put them in contention for the 4th place position, but the team they would jump if they were the St. Fullerton team.
It sure is looking like it's setting up for a postseason showdown between these two sides. As we close out the Ice in Paradise pregame show, we always find out how the Gauchos can possibly come away with the 2 points in tonight's contest with Kyle's keys.
Key number 1 is going to be one I stole from you last night. Shoot early and shoot often. Get as many shots on goaltender Scott Baba as you can. Obviously, we did note that he did go out to the bench. He seems to be no worse for wear back in for warm-ups, but
good
you
sign.
Never know if that may have stung him on the knee or something like that. Test him early and test him often. Put as many shots through to the front of the net as you can, and let the guys like the Ryan Andersons, the Vinny Abdallahs, the Cole Slankoviches, the guys that like to go to the front of the net, let them get there to hammer away at the rebounds and try to generate some scoring chances that way. They don't necessarily have to be the prettiest goals. They just have to be the ones that go up on the scoreboard for the Gauchos to come out on top of this one. Key number 2 is going to be the neutral zone gaps. We mentioned that this Fullerton team can really skate. Specifically, Dylan Kammer has incredible foot speed, but every single player out there in blue and orange tonight can really move, and that's going to mean the Gauchos are going to have to stay disciplined, aware, and have their heads on a swivel as the puck's coming through the neutral zone to make sure they can close off those gaps and slow Fullerton down as they're coming over the blue line. If the Gauchos get into a track meet with this team, it's not going to go their way. So they want to play a little slower of a game, slow the Titans down, and it's going to start with how they play in the neutral zone. Key number 3 is going to be about as simple as you possibly can get. Stop Dylan Kammer. He leads the team in scoring, and he does it all from the back end. He is a defenseman for this team, so he will carry the puck through all 3 zones quite often. He's an unselfish player. He's not afraid to shoot. He's not afraid to pass. He's not afraid to set teammates up however he can. He's extraordinarily versatile. You have got to stop him the moment he gets the puck on his stick. He has got to be pressured. You've got to slow him down and make him get rid of that one. Make his teammates win this game for him. Don't let him have an opportunity to do it for you.
Yeah, the Gauchos in the early going last night, letting defensemen Lundgren and Ghirardelli for Santa Rosa Junior College have free reign through the neutral zone, but after the opening 10 minutes of action, they were really able to dial it back and get things under control. It's going to be even more difficult tonight against a defenseman like Kammer, who we've seen over the course of the now 3 previous times that the Gauchos have taken on Cal State Fullerton in the Ice in Paradise era. that he is a supremely talented player from the back end for head coach Tony Cortez's side as we close out the Ice in Paradise pregame show and get ready to introduce you to the starters for both sides. However, we'll pause for the national anthem and be back with the drop of the puck after this. This is Ice Hockey at UCSB action on the Ice in Paradise broadcast network for Gauchos hockey. Gauchos with the opportunity to secure a season series split with Cal State Fullerton. Eric Evelhawk, Kyle Nicholas with you here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB broadcast network. Apologies for not bringing in the third member of our broadcast side, Arthur Wilkie. Arthur, just like me, working the Gaucho baseball alumni game earlier today, so let's just say we were letting his vocal cords rest, and we'll be happy to bring him in at the beginning of the second period and more. Cameraman Jesse Gutierrez is back at center ice. Will Hahn helping produce with technical director Jasmine Kellogg, who will also be keeping track of the shots. Starting line for Fullerton over the boards. We'll see forwards James Hayton and Matthew Northgrave between Grant Norman with Dylan Cameron and Ryan Cordes as the defenseman, as UCSB sends over a familiar starting five in the Barone line with Herlihy and Owaziak flanking him on the wings, and the defense duo of Andrew Vieira and Eric Valois in front of goalie Lennon Karma. Lenny leaves it behind the net. Herlihy tries to escape up the near side wall, slowed down there by Matthew Northgrave. Vieira comes over to help and will try and sweep it through. Can't get it by Grant Norman though. Gauchos will opt to try and go out the opposite side as the shot from the point kicked out. First stop of the game for Karma. From the line, Ryan Cordes through traffic, hit a man in front, and the Gauchos looking to quick outlet it up. Owaziak for the play along the back wall as Herlihy nearly creates the turnover on the forecheck, but here goes Kammer carrying the mail through the neutral zone. Dropping it off with a long shot, save made, and Karma makes a save again on Dylan Kammer as Hayton creates the opportunity in front and creates the first power play of the game coming up for Cal State Fullerton.
And the call is a trip. I'm not sure who it's against. It looks like it's going to go against Gaucho captain Andrew Vieira, which is a bit of an interesting call considering that it really didn't look like Cameron lost his balance until after the shot had gone in net. It looked like he kind of went up and over Lennon Karma. But I don't know, maybe the official down on the ice at the other end had a better view than we are. We're on the opposite end of the ice from where that happened. So the Gauchos with the first big penalty kill here.
And it's sent down the ice by Vinny Abdallah. Teed up for Scott Baba, playing it behind his net for Joshua Jobs. Norman will be used as a defenseman as well as a forward tonight for Cal State Fullerton. Good job by Abdallah winning the puck, getting into the slot. His shot deflects to the back glass as Norman, they're getting space. Bodge plays along for Wong. Wong back at his own end with 1:20 remaining in the first power play of the game. Should be mentioned that 2 of the 4 goals for Santa Rosa JC last night came on the power play. Gaucho penalty kill, just a hair over 70% now for the season as the Titans have iced the puck.
That is a sore area that Coach Scott Hires has focused a lot on improving. But nonetheless, a good penalty killing shift from the first forward tandem of Ryan Anderson and Vinny Abdallah. I got to say, as far as Abdallah and Nick Ehrenberg last night, I think they had their best game in Gaucho uniforms last night. They were both outstanding for UCSB.
Good to see Abdallah get his first goal this season for the Gauchos. And of course, Anderson potting a pair, skating with Slankovich and Anchondo. Gauchos win the offensive zone draw as Herlihy forces the drop back by Wong. Now Kammer looks to skate it out at the far wing. Awaziak with him step for step.
Great work by Chris Awaziak to not let him go there.
Long back for Kammer. Fullerton native playing for his hometown university. James Maloney gains center red and shoots in. Karma lets this one go through for Valois. Forechecking there by Norman. Knocked the puck free for a moment, and out Landstrom sent alone in front. Karma off his angle, but reaches back to paddle it away from Maloney.
Good work by Karma to get out on top of that goal crease and force Maloney to have to go around him. Maloney just ran out of racetrack there. It looked like the puck did get behind Karma, but it had nowhere to go besides into the side of the net. So Gauchos get away with a little bit of a lapse in defensive coverage, getting maybe a little bit too aggressive on the puck there, losing a little bit of that structure, but letting Karma, like so many other times this season, there to bail his team out.
26 seconds remaining in the first Titan power play of the evening. Happy you're joining us wherever you may be watching around the world, streaming on YouTube or on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Facebook page. High shot over the top. Hayton tracks down the rebound for the Titans. Back for Kammer at the line. Kammer, all kinds of traffic in front of him, hit the boot of Abdallah. Valois will play it to the far corner. Shoved off it, but unable to pick it up. Maloney. Dogged work from Abdallah, and the Gauchos have killed the first power play of the game for Fullerton as Abdallah skates away with it. Angled in by Ehrenberg. Behind the net, Anderson will come away with it to the near corner. Look to play it to the slot. Good stick by DeKaiser to break it up for Hayton. Hayton tries to play far wall. Broken up. Northgrave has to circle back with it. Wong. At the near wall for Kammer. Hard around the opposite side where it settles on Slankovich's stick. Ahead come the Gauchos. Barone to the front of the net, just out of the reach of Ehrenberg. High slot. Barone had it roll off his blade. A little too hot to handle from Slankovich. Barone, though, comes up with a steal. Far circle. Drops it off for Ehrenberg, back to the line. Big slapper from Ryan Schmitz, deflects to the far corner. Slankovich for Ehrenberg. Tried to return it up the far wall. And Fullerton would have the opportunity to skate it out here. Good job by Kiner coming back, but it's taken away by Grant Norman. Norman plays it off the back wall. Karma can't get the clear as Bodge curls behind the net with it. Back to the point for Wong. Waits for traffic. His shot. Karma never saw it, but good positioning. Able to shrug it away with his shoulder. Gauchos play it back into the Fullerton end. Not enough legs on it for icing as we've played the opening 5 minutes of action, and Fullerton with the better of the offense so far. Vieira for Valois. Here's that high forecheck that we saw the Titans use so effectively at the East-West Ice Palace in Artesia when they played earlier this season.
Looks an awful lot like the way the Vegas Golden Knights just hound the puck when they don't have it on their stick, and they're not afraid to challenge you 180 to 200 feet away from their own goal.
Cordes for Kammer. Area feed tipped forward by Cade Gunstream. Will roll in on Lennon Karma, and he elects to cover up with 14:31 to go here in the first period, and wearing assistant coach Ben Brecker's pads tonight after apparently one of his friends ran over his set of goalie pads earlier this week. And you know how goalies are particular about their equipment, Kyle. Lenny just couldn't use those after they got ran over.
That is an expensive mistake as well. Those pads are not cheap.
Shot went wide from Maloney. Abdallah plays it up ahead. Lobiondo giving chase. He's pinned in the far corner by Cortez. Now Kammer behind his own cage. Looks to escape. Being chased out by Abdallah. Norman for Maloney. Rolls a shot just wide of Karma. Kammer comes up with a quarter, plays it back behind where Viero will re-rack for the Gauchos. Abdallah angles it wide of Scott Baba. Should mention that Baba saw only 15 shots in that 5-1 win over, or 15-1 win, I should say, over Chapman University last time out as Karma makes the save. Kulinich will angle it, glass and out, and all the way down the sheet. But it does give me an opportunity, Kyle, to reminisce about former NHL netminder, the pride of Riga, Latvia, Artur Zerbe, who actually requested that his team's bus run over his big old coho pads so they would be broken in enough for him.
I feel like you're one of a very few people on the planet who would actually know that.
Well, I mean, they only made sure to bring that up during that magical run that the Carolina Hurricanes had to the Stanley Cup final before ultimately falling to the Detroit Red Wings in 2002. Here's a trivia question for you, Kyle. San Jose and Carolina, two of the 4 teams that Artur Zerbe played for. Can you name the other two? And listeners, if you can name it, comment on the broadcast on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Facebook page.
I'm going to have to think about that, so you're going to have to come back to me.
Gauchos put it back into the Fullerton end. Cleared along, and Schmitz will slow it down in neutral ice. Angled back in. Cortez. Center Radnin. Hops the paddle of Karma. Played back by Gunstream. Moved along for Bodge. Left point, Cortez. Wedged off of it by Anchondo. Played behind the net. Nice stick to knock it down. Centered in front, kicked away by Karma. Rebound, and Karma catches it. Absolutely robbing James Maloney.
And once again, the aggression that Lennon Karma shows, getting out on top of that goal crease that quickly to cut down the angle, saves the Gauchos as Maloney, who is yet another one of those players that had just a tremendous outing when these two teams met down in Artesia, gets robbed from right in front.
Had a goal and 2 helpers, did Maloney in that game. He is Fullerton's second leading scorer, 30 points in the 12 games that have stats available at achahockey.org. Kammer swept off his stick between the circles to the left low corner. Gauchos try and angle it along. Stick by Hayton. Valois, long shot in, and Baba taking no chances. Will hold for the draw with 11:38 to go in the first period.
And it really seems like Fullerton, after a somewhat suspect first few minutes, Gauchos kind of trying to jump out on top of them early, did get a little bit of offensive pressure in the opening minutes. Seems as though they've kind of found some footing and they've been putting the pressure on the Gauchos, but that's something we've kind of come to expect from them over the last few years. They play a excellent puck possession system that really focuses on just giving the opponent as little time with the puck as possible.
Hayton flops it forward, rolls in on Karma, who will play it to the near wall. Norman angles back behind. Kulinich reverses rink with it, but Northgrave there to play it back for Wong. Gets through him, missed the backhand, and now Josh Jobs can't get it through Ehrenberg. Ehrenberg centers in front, just out of the reach of Lobiondo. Fullerton gets the clear as Hayton flails it forward to center. Kulinich for Mitch Kiner. Kicked out and played back in by Norman. Anton Kulinich, the angle feed, intercepted by Jobs. Now Wong. Plays to the far corner where Vieira can skate it away. Owaziak for Kiner. He'll take it up the near wall himself. Takes a heavy hit on the play by Ryan Cordes. Gaucho's able to hold in at the point. Somebody's without a stick.
Looks like it may have broken as well. And it did. The top of that shaft is sitting about 20 feet away.
UCSB resetting in their own end. Just past the midway mark of a scoreless first period. Stretch pass. Goes over Cameron to Barone. Tried to center it for Herlihy. Cameron, though, plays it up the far side for Maloney. Maloney carries across the high slot. Look to return it to Cameron on the backhand. Valois sweeps it along. Held in by Maloney. Vieira controls off the back wall. Area feed by Owaziak, intercepted by Kammer. They continue to force the Gauchos to work through layers of forecheck here. Nice outlet by Vieira for Herlihy. His shot. Kick to the far corner by Baba. Wong works it along for Kammer. Stretch feed for Maloney. Maloney couldn't keep the handle as Vieira angles it out. Now a nice drive to the front of that. Baba with the poke check rebound, sent over the top by Anchondo.
And I believe that was deflected at the last second by Joshua Jobs. Just an excellent effort to get a stick in there and stop what would have been basically a wide open net.
Bodge tries to walk it to the high slot. Wong held it at the point for a moment. But Slenkovic will shoot it back behind Baba's cage. Leaving it there for Jobs. Missed Matt Northgrave. And just far enough for icing. Hayton, his horse wasn't fast enough to beat out the whistle with 8:07 to go in the first.
And I think he's questioning that icing call, and I think he has a point there. He definitely had inside position on the Gaucho defender. He was going to get to that puck first. But the Gauchos, the beneficiary of that call, they'll take the offensive zone faceoff and the tired legs on the ice for Fullerton.
Baba. Wong works it near wall. Hayton. The shot saved by Baba on Abdallah. Lobiondo lurking for the rebound, but it's worked far wall for Northgrave, and he'll play it out.
No mistaking that icing call.
Reminder that the game originally scheduled for tomorrow between the Gauchos and Chapman University has been canceled. It's a Chapman forfeit as the Gauchos win the draw. Valois through traffic, couldn't get through the layer defense as Bodge stood up at his defensive blue line. Herlihy chases to the near side boards. The Gauchos again will bounce this one back in. Jobs double teamed as Owaziak flips it back in. Gauchos giving the Titans a taste of their own forecheck here and forcing the dump for the full-scale line change.
It is a very difficult forecheck to overcome. You've got to be quick, and your passing has got to be spot on. And the Gauchos maybe sensing a little bit of just a small flaw in that armor from CSU Fullerton.
Kammer leads the charge out of his own end. Plays it forward for Maloney. Cade Gunstream given a rough ride by Vieira. Barone plays it forward for a hard charging Herlihy. whistle, and the linesman far side, I believe, saw that as offside.
A bit of a late whistle on that one, but nonetheless, and it appears as though this is going to be indicated as an intentional offsides as well, so that's a bit of an unfortunate break for the Gauchos. This one's going to come all the way back into their end.
Barone and Norman on the Gaucho defensive zone draw. Good win from the dot by TB. Barone carries in, chips just wide. Owaziuk leaves for Herlihy. Return for Owaziuk. Couldn't walk it free from Kammer. Gunstream plays it along. Sellout play, but now a 2-on-1.
Oh, what a break for the Gauchos.
Offside. And so after the Gauchos got caught a little bit early, so too does Fullerton, as Norman and Maloney were in 2-on-1, and there was a late lurker as well.
And it looked as though it was just that pass right before the blue line, put the first man over the line before the puck, and so the Gauchos get away with one there. Is that sellout play? I believe that was Ryan Schmitz who made that one. Part had some effect to it, but it just didn't quite have enough.
Hard attempt to go out. Doesn't get beyond Kiner, his wrister, up high and away. Slankovich shrugs off the hit from Jobs. Double team though, and Wong works it as far as the blue line, but Kiner keeps it in. Tangles with Jobs, far boards. Now Wong will lead the breakout. 3-on-2 if Fullerton hurries here. Wong setting up the slapper. Save made by Carm on the big blast by Maloney. Now UCSB with numbers back the other way. On Chondo to the high slot. Slankovich tangled up.
And I'm not sure. We got a penalty for something. I'm not sure which of the two is going, though.
Indication is a hook.
And I believe at that point it's going to come to James Hayton for Fullerton. And we got the hooking call. And they are ushering, it's Andrew Wong that's going to the box there. So the Gauchos with a power play opportunity after that also came to life last night.
Michael Herlihy getting the power play marker for the Gauchos last night. First opportunity here against Fullerton. Barone back for Vieira. Barone again. His shot hit Kammer. Herlihy though there in support. Swings it behind the net. Herlihy back to the point for Valois. Herlihy. Valois holds the line. Shot through traffic. Hit a Fullerton stick in the high slot. Barone retrieves for Vieira. Barone, room to walk in. Sent it near post. Slankovich. Back for Valois. Minute 15 to go in the Gaucho power play. Vieira through traffic. Tip, great save by Baba. Herlihy went to the front of the net, and Baba immediately getting the blocker up in his grill.
And not liking Michael Herlihy taking a buzz across the front of the net there. And Herlihy, I think, is going to take a penalty for that as well. Wow. It looked like nothing more than just a buzz to the front of the net for me standing here. This is the end that we're standing on. But the official indicating a slash.
So some four-a-side action coming here as the Gaucho first power play of the evening goes begging. They'll have four-a-side for the next minute 08.
I think that's a tough break for UCSB. I think that's a bit of a soft call.
Shot from the top of the near circle. Cordes plays it to the backboards. Maloney. Return feed, score! Ryan Cordes. He made the nice play to keep the puck in at the top of the near circle. Gets to the low slot and sticks home the game's first goal.
And this was definitely not a straight shot on net. I believe this deflected once, maybe even twice, before it got to Lennon Karma. So just two quick redirections from down low right in front of the Gaucho netminder, and unfortunately it winds up behind him. UCSB with a good-looking power play and then maybe somewhat of an unfortunate penalty call, and they wind up finding themselves trailing after having some pretty good opportunities in this one.
1-0 to Fullerton on Cordes' third goal of the season. Ryan Anderson tries to work it along, couldn't get through Jobs, and now Kammer. He's just got to be salivating with all the open ice here.
Got to keep your eyes out for number 10 in blue when it's 4-on-4, even shorthanded. He showed he's not afraid to take that rush up the ice.
Wozniak carries in. Wozniak drops it high slot. Anderson shot. Save made, Baba. Rebound kicked wide. Kammer waits. As in 10 seconds, Fullerton will have their second power play of the game. Now the Gauchos have to kill off 52 seconds of Fullerton man advantage as we approach 3 minutes remaining in the first. Kammer, the high slot, shoots, and it sticks to Karma.
Now some jostling at the other end. If you think these two teams don't realize that there is something big on the line in this one, the physicality after the whistles we've been seeing should show you otherwise.
And of course, no surprise, it's Ryan Anderson in the midst of it. Looks like we may have offsetting minors here. Unsportsmanlike conduct, the indication. As it'll be both Anderson and James Hayton who will sit down. Coincidental minors will not change manpower. Another 35 seconds of power play time for Fullerton. Held in near point by Cordes, the goal scorer for the Titans. Bodge drops it back for Cordes at the point. Bounces it in. Karma kicks it to the near corner. Bodge for Cordes. Shot looking for the high tip. Sinks behind. Karma plays it back, and Vieira will get it as far as the glove of Wong, who knocks it down. Wong off the touch in the neutral zone by Bodge. Curls far circle. Drops from Maloney. Walks. Near post. Shot. Karma the save. Rebound just bounces away. And we're back to even pegging. Wong works it back behind. Abdallah can't get it out up the near side. Valois for Lobiondo. Hard to the far point, not out. Wong shot, saved by Karma. Abdallah. And Lobiondo shoots in. The Gauchos want to change up their forward line here. Bodge. It's Karma. Plays for Kiner. Gaucho is able to get it out up the near side. Now Kammer. Stretched through the middle, stood up at the Gaucho blue line as Barone angles it back for Anton Kulinich. Kiner can't connect with him on the return. It's punched out, neutral territory. Now Barone will carry in. Pass to the slot, tip, great save with the left elbow shrug by Baba. Great chance for Anchondo.
Best one of the night for UCSB.
45 seconds to go, first period. Barone keeps it in. Slankovic tries to return to him. Kammer clips it away. Northgrave plays for Maloney. Maloney can't walk by Kulinich, but it's still there. Danger lurks. Shot save made. Karma. Gauchos sweep it away. Play to the far side. Barone looking for Anchondo. Great stick to break it up by Gunstream. Thrown in front. Anchondo had it bounce off of his back heel. Slankovic forced to shoot it in as the final 5 seconds will fall off the clock. sponsored by the San Ynez Band of Chumash Indians here at the Snyder Rink and Ice in Paradise. And after an entertaining opening 20 minutes of action, it's visiting Cal State Fullerton with a 1-0 lead on the 4-on-4 goal scored by Ryan Cordes.
For the Gauchos, I think they've got a lot to be proud of in that period. I think they were a little bit unfortunate to find themselves down 1-0. They did have their opportunities as well, so I think Coach Scott Hires is going to be pretty happy with what he saw in that first period. I think if the Gauchos can keep up a similar effort as this game goes forward, I like their opportunities of finally finding the net with one and maybe having an opportunity to come out on top.
Well, it is All-Star Weekend, so when we return for the Warrior Sports First Intermission Report, we'll take a look at action in the NHL All-Star Game up in San Jose. That's where Logan Guerrero is, or at least heading to today. So we'll talk about that and more when we return on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Back on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network, this is the Warrior Sports First Intermission Report. Warriors have been named the preferred hockey stick supplier of the ACHA, and ACHA member teams can purchase the Alpha QX Team Pro stick and one of 4 different flexes and its top 3 patterns at a special price. Visit squareup.com/store/ACHA for more information. And just one goal to apprise you of in that opening period of action came at the 15:56 mark, as it was scored by Ryan Cordes, his 3rd of the season, assisted by James Maloney, and that's where we stand with 20 minutes in the books. Eric Ebelock and Kyle Nicholas with you here from the Premier Rink in Goleta, your home for ice hockey at UCSB. And Kyle, as we mentioned, it's a special weekend in the National Hockey League as the All-Star Game up in San Jose for the second time. Of course, it was originally scheduled to be in the All-Star Game the first time around in the 1995-96 season that was shortened due to a lockout.
Seems like a little bit of a makeup there. It took a little time to get around to it.
But of course, 1997, you had the famous Owen Nolan point goal on Dominik Hasek to secure his hat trick, though the East came away with the win. And taking a look at the super skills competition results from earlier today, was Connor McDavid coming away with the fastest skating time, completing a lap in 13.378 seconds. And that's really burying the lead as USA women's national team member Kendall Coyne Schofield went 14.346. She actually ended up completing that lap faster than Clayton Keller of the Arizona Coyotes did. And considering that Coyne Schofield is all of 5'2", you can only imagine, one, what it would have been like for her if she's able to play hockey year-round like NHL players are, and maybe if she had a little bit longer legs to work with, the likes of McDavid.
My word, if you get an opportunity to look up the video of that lap, it is unbelievable how fast Kendall Coyne Schofield can skate. I mean, you watch this and you go, how in the world is anyone out on the Olympics or in the Women's World Championships keeping up with her? She is skating a lap in what's about the 90th percentile of what National Hockey League talent is skating that lap at. That is absolutely insane how quick she can move. Worth the price of admission, absolutely. And just goes to show how much talent there is in those women's team programs these days. Coyne, just as fast as a lot of the men out there.
And of course, both of these programs have had female goaltenders in previous season, Nora Penn most notably for ice hockey at UCSB. Johnny Gaudreau, once again, winning the puck control relay, doing so in 27 seconds, .045. Henrik Lundqvist was able to secure the longest save streak, besting Andrei Vasilevsky's 8. King Henrik still able to get it done, turning away 12 in a row. The Premier Passer contest won by Leon Draisaitl of Edmonton, doing so in a minute and 9 seconds, .088. And the hardest shot contest won by John Carlson of the Washington Capitals, 102.8 miles per hour, put up by the big hammer on the back end from the nation's capital. And in the NHL accuracy shooting contest, despite Austin Matthews mayhaps going for the cheap hometown pop, or giving the wink and nod to the fans of San Jose by wearing,
let's be polite and call it an homage,
the jersey of longtime Shark Patrick Marleau in shooting, it ended up taking him longer than anyone else, as David Pastrnak of the Boston Bruins ended up completing the accuracy shooting in 11 seconds, .309. And
what a player they got out there in Boston, and Pastrnak, man.
So, Kyle, it brings to mind, the All-Star Game has taken on different forms, and the skills competition has taken on different flavors over the years. Do you have a particular favorite setup that you've seen from All-Star Weekend in the NHL, be it Campbell versus Wales / East versus West, mayhaps North America versus the world, the draft format, which we've seen the NBA and NFL adopt in recent seasons, or now, as it's been the last couple years, division versus division in 3-on-3 action?
Well, this new format has kind of grown on me with the division versus division thing, because it's an all-star game. It's for fun. It's for, an opportunity to show off the skill. And one of the real problems with a lot of the old formats was that really players just weren't taking it seriously. I mean, I remember there was a game back in probably the early 2000s, late 90s, where it was like 26 goals were scored or something like that. no one was playing defense. No one was throwing any bodies around, which, I mean, that still doesn't happen today. But if the game's going to be somewhat of just like a skill show-off gimmick type thing, you might as well just set it up to be one right from the get-go. And that's kind of what this 3-on-3 format really is. So it's grown on me in that regard as well. And I also find it absolutely hysterical that for the 3 seasons that they've had this so far, the Pacific Division, which has been, in many cases, one of the divisions that's kind of been mired as one of the divisions that's not so tough in the NHL, has come out on top in 2 of the 3 years. So it's easy to say that the Pacific Division might as well be the best division in hockey if it comes out on top of that, right?
Well, unfortunately, there has not been a Pacific Division Stanley Cup winner since 2014 when the Los Angeles Kings won it last. However, though, they'll look for another victory this season. And, man, oh man, you look at the 3 teams that are currently in 1 through 3 in the Pacific Division at the All-Star break.
A lot of talent there.
Calgary, San Jose, and Vegas. We'll take a look at the second half of the NHL schedule during the second intermission report. That'll do it for us here on the Warrior Sports First Intermission. Strike with speed with the Alpha QX from Warrior, providing the means to dominate. Back after this with the start of the second period, and oh yeah, we got to get Arthur Wilkie in here from Rinkside. Back after this, Gauchos trailing 1-0 as we get ready for the second period of play on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Teams making their way back to the ice sheet for the second period with ice hockey at UCSB trailing Cal State Fullerton 1-0. Eric Evelhawk and Kyle Nicholas with you, streaming around the world on YouTube as well as Facebook Live. Ice hockey at UCSB. This is the second to last home game that the Gauchos have scheduled here, and we'll look forward to bring the regular season home finale mayhaps on Super Bowl Sunday as the Cal State Fullerton Titans hope that the Gauchos can't catch them in the standings, as remember, UCSB, if they can pick up a point tonight, will be able to secure a spot above the UCSD Titans. And now we bring in the third member of our broadcast team, Arthur Wilkie from Rinkside. Arthur.
Here with Zach Anchondo of the UCSB ice hockey team. And Zach, score 1-0 at the end of the first period. The ice isn't in the greatest of shape tonight, but has that made things difficult for you guys to play your own game?
Yeah, a little bit. In the periods, the puck was sticking all over the place, but we keep skating around, skating hard. We'll wear this ice in and we'll get some puck steeps and get some good shots on net.
Considering you might see these guys in a couple of weeks' time, does this feel like a playoff game already?
Yeah, it's got that atmosphere a little bit. We need to win this game pretty bad, so we're just going to grind here in the second and third period and try to get this dub.
All right, man, best of luck. Thank you, appreciate it. Zach Anchondo of the UCSB ice hockey team as the Gauchos get set to take on Cal State Fullerton in the second period. Back to you guys.
Big thank you to Arthur Wilkie for joining us on the Gaucho bench between periods here. And boy, you can tell that Zach Anchondo, if he wants, may have a broadcast future for himself on KCSB. He was out at Caesar Stadium earlier today calling play-by-play for the Gaucho baseball alumni game.
Answer those questions quite like a hockey player, if I do say so as well.
So it'll be even pegging for both sides as we get ready to begin the second period of play. By the way, the answer to the trivia question, in addition to San Jose and Carolina, what other two teams did Arturs Urbe play for in his NHL career? That would be, of course, the Dallas Stars and Vancouver Canucks. Urbe playing for both of those teams in the late 90s.
I had a feeling about the Dallas Stars. I would have never gotten the Vancouver Canucks on that one. So, good question.
Fullerton begins with a puck to begin the second period of play as it's shot in with Lennon Karma, leaving it there for Eric Valois. Tries to go up the near boards. It's intercepted and played back behind by Gunstream. Owaziak tries to kick it out of his skates. On the second try, able to get it out. Kemmer has to tread the line and thread it back behind. Owaziak for Herlihy, pops his blade. Held in at the far point by Bodge. Now the Gauchos break ahead. Owaziak drops back for Herlihy. Herlihy throws it through the low slot. Valois hit one of the officials, trying to angle it deeper. Bodge back out to neutral territory. And the long slapper up off the right breast of Karma. And Vieira for Owaziak. Gauchos in the midst of a line change here as Anderson, with just a slight stumble coming over the blue line, as Kammer gives it up for Normand. Normand swings it around. Stick checked away by Valois. Hayton back to the far point. Kammer can't get it by on Chondo. Anderson for Slinkovich. Gauchos are offside, have to let that one go through. As Kammer for Northgrave. Slankovich with the steal. Slankovich to the high slot on Chondo. Scores! The leading goal scorer for the Gauchos does it again. They take advantage of a Titan defensive zone giveaway and tie it 1-1.
And these are the types of turnovers that drive head coaches crazy. It's a fairly easy and routine exit of the zone for Fullerton, but they give the puck up at the blue line, and the Gauchos execute to perfection, including a spectacular shot for Anchondo. He buries that in the corner like a true sniper, and the Gauchos back to even. We got a whole new hockey game here in the second.
9th goal of the season for Anchondo. Slankovich with his team-leading 14th helper. Tried to touch it up the near wall on the second try. Kulnich couldn't get it by Kammer, who now rolls it in. Hayton on the forecheck. Karma clears it beyond him for Slankovich. Anderson can't angle it past Wong, who will give for Northgrave. Northgrave drop pass. Hayton. Puck sticks to the far post as Karma keeps his skate planted, with both Hayton and Grant Norman doing the flyby, looking to sneak one short side.
Still have not put the Gaucho goal up on the board here. Nonetheless, Anchondo, after a sensational performance last night, really seems as though he's kind of picked up right where he left off. He's having a great weekend here.
Abdallah leading the charge in. Lobiando chops it to the slot. Ehrenberg. Shot patted away by Baba. Good save through traffic. That was not easy. Held in at the point by Schmitz. His shot. Lobiando was looking for the tip in the low slot. Held in by Anton Kulinich. Lobiando plays for Ehrenberg. Had it taken away. Now Anton Kulinich. Curling in his own end. Abdallah. Kulinich. Ehrenberg for Abdallah. Carries it in.
That's going to hurt.
Cordes, perhaps lucky he avoided a charging call there, as seemed stride before he delivered the hits. But the Titans have iced the puck.
And that's an interesting call because Karma left the net on that one. So either this is a delayed offside or this should be coming to center ice. And I believe they have changed the call and it will come to center. Of course, the goaltender leaving the net like that should negate the icing call. Goaltenders are required to stay in their goal crease in order for that to be called.
So the Barone line over the boards once more for head coach Scott Hires. Wins the draw. Vieira for Valois. Good to see Valois pick up his first point of the season against Santa Rosa JC. Getting a helper. Vieira. Far corner, Herlihy. Plays it back behind. And Bodge. Takes a big hit there. Gauchos have to touch up. Bodge leaving it back. Kammer touches the return to Cordes. Gunstream. Tapped away from him by Valois. Herlihy takes a heavy hit into the boards, and the trailing official sees the textbook boarding right away.
And we mentioned how this Fullerton team does like to play physical, and they have ramped it up here in the second period. We've seen a few good hits, and like you mentioned, Eric, this one being a textbook boarding call. I believe that was Herlihy he had in the railroad tracks there. But you cannot hit a guy with the numbers facing you.
So Bodge will sit for 2 minutes or less on the second power play of the game for the Gauchos, looking for their first lead. Abdallah. Check that. That's Gaucho goal scorer on Chondo. His wrister from the near circle, blocker to the back mesh netting by Scott Baba.
And you got to love the confidence that Anchondo has been showing over these last two games. He gets some goals to go in, starts taking the shots, starts trying to test the goaltender. So things as coaches that you really like to see, guys who take the initiative to try to run the offense and generate some scoring chances.
Slankovic behind the net. Anchondo taken down in front of the net, and looks like we're going to have 5-on-3 forthcoming here, as the immediate indication is for an interference minor, and it looks like it's going to be James Hayton who will have a seat. So a minute 38 or less of 5-on-3 for the Gauchos.
And this is a huge opportunity for UCSB. A lot of space out there on the ice. If they can get control of this puck and start moving it around, generate some scoring chances here.
Slankovic had it taken away by Kammer. Hard around and not out. Valois does nicely there. Switches point to Vieira. Gives it back to him. Now Vieira. Pass. Backdoor. Thrown in front. Anchondo just can't get the stick off the hot feed from Barone. Karma comes way out to give for Valois as the Gauchos look to keep the pressure up against the three-man penalty kill unit of Norman, Kammer, and Wong. Arguably three of the best skaters for this Fullerton side, as you'd expect. Barone, back for Vieira. Now Valois. Vieira. Pass. Backdoor. Score! Tyler Barone, and the Gauchos convert on the 5-on-3. Plenty of patience, open up the triangle, and open up their first lead of the game.
And let's give a lot of credit to the execution by the Gauchos there as well, particularly on the passing. 3 tape-to-tape passes, bing, bang, bong, back to the back of the net, and the Gauchos executing, looking like that power play hasn't been a problem for them all season. We've talked an awful lot about how the Gauchos have squandered an awful lot of opportunities. Having 10 the last time these two teams met, they made that one look easy.
5th goal of the season by Tyler Barone, his 3rd with the man advantage. Give the apples to Zach Anchondo and Andrew Vieira. Chondo with a hand in both of the Gaucho goals. Vieira plays it for Anderson, who will test coming in up the near wing. Shrugs off the hit, but hammered hard around to the line, not out. Valois. Pass, cross, backdoor, great save on Mitch Kiner. Karma plays it off the far glass. Owaziuk, Gauchos, 3-on-2. Vieira tried to get it in front for Anderson instead. Fullerton flips it down the length of the sheet. 10 seconds remaining in the man advantage as Owaziuk for Valois. Gaucho power play now 1 for 3 tonight as Valois' sharp angle shot hits the outside of the post. Kick to the high slot. And Kiner's try will loop up and into the back netting.
And these are the points where if you're ice hockey at UCSB, you have got to keep your foot on the gas pedal. This Fullerton team is looking as though they are ready to respond after taking the lead early in this game, now finding themselves trailing to a team they already beat once this season. Expect a hard response from the Titans. The Gauchos need to step up and counter with one of their own.
Lobiondo's shot handcuffed Baba a bit, goes back behind. 2 Gauchos digging for it, trying to work it in front. Schmitz can't hold the near point. Odd man opportunity here. Wong, pass to the slot, score! James Maloney, and just like that, we're tied 2-2. And Kyle, you talked about neutral zone gap control. The Gauchos got caught up ice there and made to pay immediately by the Titans.
Well, the Titans got a puck past the last man back on the blue line, and that left Mitch Kiner alone to defend a 2-on-1. And the thing is, instead of going over and covering the pass like a lot of coaches will teach you to do, he went to the shooter, which left his goaltender, Lennon Karma, to have to deal with not only the shooter, but also the passing option. Karma not able to get across in time to get set and take that pass down. Unfortunately, winds up in the net back behind the Gauchos. 2 critical mistakes in a very short amount of time. And the Gauchos, after all that hard work to get themselves in front, right back to even.
17th goal of the season for Maloney, but Slankovich with a chance now. Save made by Baba, doing the hard work along the back boards. Chondo for Slankovich, drops it back and off the play. We've got a penalty call forthcoming here.
I believe this is going to go against ice hockey at UCSB, so things may be going from bad to worse here for the Gauchos, as immediately after giving up their lead, they're now going to be forced to have to kill another penalty against a Fullerton team that looks like in the matter of just maybe a few seconds wrestled all of that momentum that ice hockey at UCSB was able to build in the early minutes of this first period, wrestled it away, and they now look like they're in command of this one.
I believe that's Anton Kulinich, who sits for the trip for UCSB. Kammer walks the line. Wong works it low, gets it back. One-timer Kammer careens to the far corner. Vieira wedged off the puck there. Bodge back to the point for Kammer. Waits, shoots, Karma. Kicks it wide to the far side. Bodge on the second try. Wong back for Kammer. Just out of the reach of Maloney. He scored the equalizer for Fullerton here. Back for Kammer. Hesitates, his shot, hit Wozniak in the high slot, and Vieira slams it out the back door. Fullerton 0 for 2 so far with a man advantage tonight. As Norman. Kammer centers to the slot shot, score! Maloney, Kammer, Norman, Titans back on top.
And the Titans got one man a half step in front of Gaucho defenseman Eric Valois coming off the blue line. Valois not able to make up that distance. A stick wide open, and once again, it is Lennon Karma left to try to fend off the passing option in a 2-on-1 play. The second time in a row, the pass gets through the defenseman, and it leaves the goaltender helpless against a Fullerton shooter, and just that quickly, in a matter of what feels like not more than a couple minutes, the Gauchos go from leading this one by a goal to suddenly right back to trailing.
3-2 as Cal State Fullerton clashes in for the first time with a man advantage. Played forward by Hayton. Karma. Played along, Slankovic. Able to poke it past Jobs. Long for Gunstream. Looks like it hit the linesman and hops into the Fullerton player bench with 10:50 to go here in the second period.
Yeah, that may leave a little bit of a shiner on the shoulder of the linesman, but he looks no worse for wear. Critical juncture of this game for the Gauchos. Have not seen, I should say responding to adversity has been something that's been difficult for them this season. They've got a huge opportunity here in a very important game. See if they can string something together.
Northgrave. Schmitz takes the hit. Played to the low slot, intercepted by Anderson on Chondo. Hayton sent it back deeper. Kulinich for Anchondo. Can't get it by the forecheck and Norman. Back to the point. Shot through traffic. High tip, settled down, thrown in front. Great save by Karma on the sweet try by Norman, looking for his second of the evening.
And Fullerton now with their foot fully on the gas pedal, taking every opportunity they can to try to pepper the Santa Barbara net with a shot. And the forwards are getting body position on the Gaucho defenders. They are getting inside, and they are getting their sticks first to those 50-50 pucks in dangerous spots on the ice for UCSB. They have got to step up and start clearing those out more frequently.
Fullerton wins the draw. Cortez in front, gloved away from the low slot by Vieira. Hand pass, and of course that is a infraction here in the ACHA.
In all three zones. Different from the just about anywhere else on the planet, really, where you are allowed to pass with your hand in your defensive zone.
Big defensive zone draw for Barone, but a great job by Hurley stepping up and playing forward for Wozniak. Backhander, handled by Hurley, curled back behind. Barone. Turned away from the hit initially, and now Hurley. Hard work behind. Kammer can't clear. Valois bounces it. Now the high arcing feed lands for Maloney. His pass across the low slot. Kammer comes away with it. Gunstream planting himself in front of the net as Barone tries to kick it along. Kammer comes free with it. Shot through traffic, hit Valois in front. Second try, just wide of the far post by Maloney. And now Hurley ahead for Wozniak. Gains center red and shoots it back behind. One forward changes for the Gauchos. As it's Ehrenberg over the boards. Stretch feed intercepted by Eric Valois, but quickly taken away by James Maloney. Maloney given a rough ride near side by Ehrenberg, but the Gauchos shoot it up and out of play and will have to dig out of their own defensive zone here with 8:48 to go here in the second period.
Another rule difference here between the ACHA and the NHL. In the NHL, that would have been a 2-minute minor penalty for delay of game. That puck just got thrown right up and over the glass from inside the Gaucho blue line, but no such rule in the ACHA. It'll just be a face-off down low.
Immediately shot on Karma off the draw by Hayton.
Looked like a set play being run there from Fullerton as they had a couple men darting right for the front of the net off that. And trying to catch the Gaucho defense sleeping a little bit, but Karma, alert to the task, jumps right on that puck.
Good defensive zone draw, won by Ehrenberg. To the line, and now Abdallah skating ahead. Perhaps a 2-on-1 here. He shoots. Save made by Raba. Lobiano looking for a rebound, and that draws the attention of the Titans.
Scott Baba really has been very testy with the white-shirted Gauchos who have gone to the top of his goal crease. Just ripping the stick out of the hands of what looked like Lobiando, and I believe Lobiando's actually going to go sit for this.
Coincidental minors as
That's right.
Lobiando and Josh Jobs will sit for their respective sides.
Getting on for the jostle after the whistle there.
We'll call them roughing minors.
Boy, this one definitely has the atmosphere and the intensity of a playoff game that you would expect. Both teams know what's on the line with this one, with the two of them also more than likely meeting in 2 weeks' time for playoffs. You got to think that both of these teams also recognize that this is the opportunity to send a message before that game when these two meet for all of the figurative marbles, I guess you could say.
Ehrenberg wins the draw. Abdallah back to the point. Kulinich through traffic. Kammer plays it away. Abdallah, though, works it back behind. Slankovich takes the hit, trying to work it free for Ehrenberg. Is covered up by Cordes in the far corner.
He's doing well to keep that thing secured as well. The Gauchos can't dig that thing free.
Back to the point, through traffic. Kiner's try didn't come through, and the slapper looking for the high glass and out. Instead, buzzing the tower of a couple fans sitting at the opposite end of our broadcast vantage point here. Thank goodness for the mesh netting.
There's a reason why they put these things around the net ends of hockey rinks. Pucks can exit the playing surface at a high rate of speed. Looks like Fullerton was trying to sneak a man over the boards late there. Officials coming over and saying, hey, nope, can't make that change that late.
So Wong has to work his way back out, and Coach Tony Cortez will hear words from the officials.
And it
now looks like we may have had a misconduct given here, as Ryan Cordes will skate to his locker room, and the bench gets even shorter for Cal State Fullerton.
Waiting on figuring out exactly what that was. We should have word in hopefully a couple minutes.
Kammer. Karma off the end wall. Gets through Kammer. Picked up by Wong in his own end. Kammer hits a stanchion trying to clear. It comes back to him, though. And we'll skate it in. Valois introduces him to the plexiglass. as Ryan Anderson leads the charge. Anderson ridden off the puck by Grant Norman. And Kammer took a number on Anderson.
I believe that was Scott Baba that did that. Anderson did a flyby to the top of his crease, and I believe Baba just stuck the stick out and drug him down. And I believe that's what the official is motioning, for anyone on the ice to serve the call. So we mentioned that Baba's been getting a little bit feisty with anyone who's gone to the top of his goal crease, and you gotta think that if you're the coach of Fullerton, that is not something you want your goaltender to do, is suddenly put you down a man, taking really kind of just a bad discipline tripping call there.
Gauchos to their 4th power play of the game, looking to draw back level. Long feed was looking for Grant Norman.
Not sure what the whistle was for on that one. And the official is back over at the Fullerton bench again,
having words with Captain Dylan Kammer. Barone, who has the power play goal for the Gauchos here in the middle frame. Anchondo back to the point. Vieira. Shot hits the man in the high slot, drops it back for Valois. Valois switching for Slankovic. Shot it up high and wide. Valois holds. Slankovic. Valois. Slapper deflected back behind by Bodge. Barone able to dig it free for Slankovic. Valois curls for Vieira. Takes the return feed. Twists for Valois. Now Barone. Pass backdoor looking for Slankovic. Couldn't connect with him. And now Maloney leads the charge. Minute to go in the power play for the Gauchos as Valois does well to just sweep him free.
Gauchos with numbers if they hurry.
Barone. Across the high slot. Hesitates. His shot. Blocked back behind by Baba Anchondo. There to pick it up. Looks like it may have been an equipment issue for Ryan Cordes, as he is back and ready to return to the Fullerton bench next opportunity.
All right, that would make a little bit more sense.
Vieira. Played low. Barone in front. Score! Gauchos tie it on the power play. It's 3-3.
Take them how you can get them for ice hockey at UCSB. I'm not sure what this deflected off of, as Barone just kind of wrapped it to the front of the net. It hit something in front and then went right through the 5-hole of Scott Baba. Have to wait for the official scoring to see if maybe it went off another Gaucho or if it maybe hit a Fullerton defenseman on that play. But nonetheless, the Gauchos have struck again on the power play here tonight, and they have gotten themselves back even in what's been a wild back and forth second period here.
Gauchos now 2 for 4 with the man advantage. Carmel plays it along, intercepted by Northgrave. Pass to the slot. Maloney couldn't get the backhand touch on it. Lobiondo hard out, and the Gauchos have iced the puck.
4:58 now remaining here in this second period. And you got to say, for the power plays that we've seen from the Gauchos tonight, Eric, I'm really liking the way the Gauchos have been moving the puck. Passes have been finding tape to tape, been finding their targets, and they've been opening up lanes that they can use to generate scoring opportunities, and they've capitalized twice on it.
Lobiondo ahead, intercepted by Cordes. Lobiondo, though, second try, shrugs off the hit. Abdallah couldn't get free. Maloney, area feed, too far for Norman. Does seem retooling the units has given the Gaucho man-up group a little extra shot in the arm. Ehrenberg avoids the hip check, has it taken away in the near corner. Intercepts the Norman feed. Ehrenberg puts it in front. Baba dives out, and he'll cover.
Not a bad idea on that play. Just carry the puck right out to the front of the net and jam it into the goaltender's pads. UCSB has been generating some opportunities from down low against this Fullerton netminder, so especially when he seems as though he's getting a little bit testy with anyone that walks to the front of his crease, even if you don't get the puck in, you may draw a penalty from it, we've seen.
Some words from the official after it seemed like he may have had a blocker to the back of the head. The Gaucho forward in front. Valois looks to lead the charge out, sending it far side, just out of the reach of Herlihy. Shot back in by Wong. Vieira. Now Valois. Looking for a Wozniak. Area feed intercepted by Gunstream. Playing wide for Kammer. Nearly lost an edge. Tipped along by Vieira. Wozniak wedged off it by Hayton. Vieira gets it back out to neutral ice. Giveaway to Valois. Oh, that's unfortunate. The Gauchos just a hair offside on that, forcing Vieira to double back. Long shot. Baba handles, and with Wozniak working his way in, he'll force a face-off in the offensive zone.
So a little bit of an update on what happened with Ryan Cordes. The officials sent him to the locker room temporarily because he was actually cut on the play. So he had to get patched up really quick in order to return. Being a student organization, you cannot have open wounds for a public health reasons.
Gauchos had won the draw, but it's taken away by Hayton. He'll shoot it in. A little bit of a handcuffing shot. Karma, though, able to catch.
Like an infield line drive bullet there. Karma doing his best second baseman imitation there. You were doing baseball this afternoon, were you not, Eric?
Yes, indeed. Good showing from the 2019 version of the Gauchos. Piling up the runs against the alumni. 14-1 final in that one. As Anchondo shoots in. Ushered along, but ultimately not out as Schmitz did well to hold the line once, twice. Plays it through to the high slot. And will be arced out by Josh Jobs. Anton Kulinich. Can't connect with his man. Good stick by Anderson, deflects it back into the Fullerton end. Good pursuit angle taken by Cordes. Tries to get it out up the near wall, intercepted Kulinich. His shot, score! Anderson may not have gotten a touch on it, but it was enough to get in the eyes of Baba. Kulinich with this seeing eye shot from the point, and the Gauchos back in front.
Baba was clearly not ready or anticipating that shot. It completely wrong-footed him, and by the time it was past him, he was too busy scrambling to try to get back in the way. Like you said, Eric, I don't think this one was touched on the way in. I believe this is going to go down as Kulinich's goal for ice hockey at UCSB, but the Gauchos, again, just a back and forth period here, now find themselves back in front by a goal.
Third of the season for Kulinich, his first non-power play marker of the year. Fullerton looking for a response. They've been able to respond quickly both times they've gone down to the Gauchos. Lobiondo angles it forward for Abdallah. Abdallah walks across the slot on his backhand, forced to curl at the bottom of the near circle, back for Valois. Shot through traffic, deflects. Ehrenberg tries to sneak a backhander near post. Baba says no.
And we talk a little bit about how maybe, Lennon Karma wearing Coach Ben Brecker's pads, maybe trying to channel just a little bit of that magic that he had from his days of playing at Bowling Green. Well, there's a little bit of that going on for one of the Gaucho forwards as well, as it appears Nick Ehrenberg borrowing a little bit of the magic of former Gaucho Cooper Spears. He's wearing his skates tonight, Eric. Got that tip from producer Will Hahn here.
Nice job walking it out in front of Wozniak. Couldn't get the rebound. Ehrenberg is
He's moving tonight.
by no means a slow player, and I guess that's why he seems got the extra pep in his step, as we've got a minute to go here in the second period.
There's some fire in his feet tonight. He is moving.
Valois, stretch feed, intercepted by Kammer. Kammer up the near wall, shoots. Karma kicks the rebound back to the far point.
Awkward save, but well handled by Karma.
Vieira drops back for Valois. Kick back out to Kammer, neutralized by Norman. Valois can't get it out. Vieira back behind. Arcs it out. Kammer content to drop back to his own end. 15 seconds remaining in the second as Valois comes away with it. To the far point and out. Cordes slows it down. Long slapper. Karma adds an additional stop to his save ledger. And after trailing by one after one, the Gauchos outscore the Titans 4-2 in period two and have a lead on the team top of them in the WCHC table.
And Eric, I think this is an easy call. That was the best period we've seen all season from ice hockey at UCSB. They were in control of the game for the large majority of that period. They let it get away from them a little bit in the middle of the period when Fullerton was able to climb back from that 1-goal deficit and take the lead. But the Gauchos really hung on, and I'd mentioned a little bit about how it was kind of one of those gut check overcoming adversity moments. The Gauchos showed they can do it here. They've got another period before they can finish this one off, but if you're ice hockey at UCSB, that was an outstanding period. I think Coach Scott Hires is going to be extremely happy with the effort he's seen tonight. The guys are moving. This game is fun, it's fast, it's going back and forth. We are in for a wild finish in the third period here.
Good second 20 for the Gauchos, but 20 strong more minutes needed in this one to see through a big WCHC result. 4-3 as we get ready to head to the Southwest Airlines second intermission report. We'll be back with that after this on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Southwest Airlines second intermission here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Eric Evelhawk and Kyle Nicholas with you from the Snyder Rink at Ice in Paradise in Goleta, reminding you that Southwest Airlines is the official airlines of the American Collegiate Hockey Association, and that qualifiers for the 2019 ACHA National Tournament can take advantage of discounted rates from the world's largest low-cost carrier when booking before Sunday, March the 3rd. So 6 goals between the two sides in the second period. Let's quick run back the scoring summary for you as the Gauchos were able to draw even at the 137 mark with Zach Anchondo scoring, assisted by who else? Cole Slankovich. However, the Gauchos would then pick up the lead for the first time in the game on a power play goal by Tyler Barone. Great cross-slot feed to him from Anchondo and Andrew Vieira to give the Gauchos the 2-1 lead at 5:22. It wouldn't last all that long, just a minute and 50 seconds though, as James Maloney put home a 2-on-1 off a feed from Andrew Wong, and the game was tied 2-2. Fullerton would reassume control on a power play goal by Grant Normand off a feed from Dylan Kammer and James Maloney at the 8:42 mark. But the Gauchos getting the last 2 goals of the period. Correction on the third goal for UCSB. We had originally credited that to Tyler Barone. That goal, in fact, goes to Cole Slankovich. He gets that with Zach Anchondo and Tyler Barone drawing the assist at 14:20 on the power play. And then the go-ahead goal for UCSB at 17:57 off the stick of Anton Kulinich, assisted by Ryan Anderson, and that's where we stand after 40 minutes of play.
And I think if you're ice hockey at UCSB, you're extremely happy with the way the offense has been putting passes together. The gapping in the neutral zone, I've also noticed as well, one of the keys to the game has been very good in most instances for the Gauchos. They've gotten caught a couple times, but they have been forcing Fullerton to either try and play sort of like the home run pass lobbed through the neutral zone, or they've been forcing Fullerton to have to play a dump and chase type of game. And with the way UCSB has been positioning their defense, they've been ready for something along those lines. So for the Gauchos, they've been doing a very good job with the containment. The offense has been clicking. They're playing an outstanding game here this evening, but something that we can call back to from the first meeting between these two teams, the third period was where it really did get away from the Gauchos. After 2, granted, Fullerton had a lot of control of the game between those 2 periods, but the lead was not insurmountable at the second intermission. The third period was where it really got away for the Gauchos. And for Fullerton, they scored twice in that third period and really salted that one away on December 1st, with that one ending a 4-1 final that honestly probably could have been up in the 8 or 9 range with how much control, how many scoring opportunities, and how many chances Fullerton had in that one. The majority of that came in a third period where the Gauchos had next to nothing going for them. They're going to need to completely flip that script tonight if they want to come out on top of this one, and they have got to be ready right from the drop of the first puck. Fullerton is frustrated in their locker room right now. They know that they should be doing probably a little bit better in their minds. A lot of credit to the way the Gauchos have played this game as well. But for Fullerton, you got to expect that they're going to come guns blazing with everything they've got here to start this third period. The Gauchos have got to be ready.
Final third of regulation of tonight's contest coming up as we're in the Southwest Airlines second intermission report. Remember, you can get discounted fares through Southwest Airlines by visiting achahockey.org for more information when you book before Sunday, March 3rd, and it's good for travel between March 17th through April 4th. And Kyle, we're nearing the final third of the NHL regular season. I'm just curious what you think about the lay of the landscape of the league. Obviously, you still have the Tampa Bay Lightning as far and away the top team points-wise, but Barry Trotz continues to add to his legend and add to the argument that he may very well be the best coach of his era, getting the New York Islanders to the top of the Metropolitan Division at the All-Star break. Of course, you have the Calgary Flames leading the Pacific, having not lost more than 2 games in a row without gaining a point so far this season. And of course, the Winnipeg Jets just continue to chug along under the direction of head coach Paul Maurice.
And it seems as though the Nashville Predators are underperforming right now. They could flip the script and turn it on, it seems like, at almost any time. The Sharks have gotten hot. They're also doing extremely well in the West. Vegas is back to being the team that everyone thought they would be at the start of the season. That shooting percentage has gone up, and they're winning games like crazy right now. The playoffs are shaping up to be something fun in the West right now. Honestly, though, I think the biggest surprise is the fact that so many teams are just middling along down at the bottom of that playoff picture, and they're still in the wild card chase. Notably, Anaheim just 2 points out of it right now after losing 12 of their last 14 contests. So they're a ways out of one of those division playoff spots, but you know what they say, just get in and you'll see what happens. And right now it seems like there's a good 5 or 6 teams that could be that team that just gets in.
And I think another team, when you talk about surprises, you have to look at what Claude Julien has done with the Montreal Canadiens this year. The Habs, really, nobody expected much of anything from them this season, and they've been getting goals from unlikely spots, and with largely a patchwork defense, Carey Price starting to play like the Carey Price that's been, one of the true elite goalies over the course of his career.
Absolutely, and you knew how good of a coach that Claude Julien was when Boston let him go and then when Montreal picked him up. And so you had a feeling it was kind of only going to be a matter of time. But once again, you looked at their roster on paper at the start of the season, and you can see why so many people maybe had them written off. But again, a good coach with good systems, playing a disciplined game, and getting some good performances from some unexpected names can take a team that no one had high expectations for, turn the script, and turn them into a team that can surprise you and have a very successful season.
Well, the Gauchos looking to make it a successful close to this season. A man who knows all about what the Gauchos are going to need to do to secure that is head coach Scott Hires, who we will have joined with Arthur after we step aside for a brief break. We'll be back with head coach Hires and Arthur before the start of the third period after this on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. Back for the third period here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network, and let's waste no time by going down rinkside with third member of broadcast team Arthur Wilkie and head coach Scott Hires.
Coach, great fight back from the team, and it's the same guys from last night that are making things happen for you guys again. So what came together in the second period to make the team explode for 4 goals?
I would say that the biggest thing we've changed this period is putting more bodies on guys, getting pucks lower, getting shots on net. You could see that the first period we were kind of a little bit lackadaisical. Now we're just starting to grind a little bit more and get the puck down low and play in their end.
Lots of aggressiveness from Fullerton, and they really want to come out here and get that number 4 spot secured for themselves in the third period. So what do you have to do to see this game out?
I think we just have to do the same we did in the second period, and that's just keep it real simple. If we can play in their end, the better off I think we'll be.
All right, best of luck. Thank you. Appreciate it. Back to you guys.
Big thanks to Arthur Wilkie and head coach Scott Hires joining us here as we get ready for the third period of play. Eric Evelhawk, Kyle Nicholas with you, streaming around the world on YouTube as well as Facebook Live. And Kyle, it's really as easy as Coach Hires said, but that is easier said than done against a Fullerton team that, despite bringing only 10 skaters tonight, has still been the quality side, slick skating and heavy hitting that we saw when these two teams tangled on the 1st of December.
Well, we made no bones about it in the pregame that this Fullerton team, every member out there can absolutely skate. So it's a tough task for ice hockey at UCSB, but as we mentioned, the gap control, slowing them down, forcing them to play that heavier game is going to make life difficult for them, and the Gauchos have succeeded in doing that. Coach Scott Hires talking about getting the pucks in deep, getting bodies on guys, really just trying to grind them down. And when you have a numerical advantage like ice hockey at UCSB does right now, that advantage is something that you can put to work to tire the other team out, to make shift after shift difficult. And for the Gauchos, now is the time where they really need to make sure that they can put their foot on the gas pedal, because this is when the legs are going to start getting heavy for this Fullerton team. When you only have 10 skaters and you're playing as much hockey and as much physical hockey as this Fullerton team is being forced to play, those legs are going to start getting tired. They're going to start slowing down, and for the Gauchos, that is your opportunity. You've got to jump on, and you got to just open up that lead and get yourself some insurance here in the third period.
And I think another thing that we can point to was your first key of the game. You said it was important for ice hockey at UCSB to control the shot battle in this contest, as the Gauchos were outshot by 21 the first time these two teams played. Through 40 minutes, what is the shot total for tonight's contest?
And so far through 40 minutes, the Fullerton Titans with 10 in the second period for a game total of 24. The Gauchos with 15 in the second period for a game total of 23. So very even on the shot count, separated by only one, and also separated by only one on the scoreboard as well.
Gauchos looking to secure a season series split against these Fullerton Titans for the second consecutive season. UCSB looking for a second consecutive win, not only this weekend, but knowing that Chapman University will not be coming up here to Ice in Paradise tomorrow, as they no longer have enough players to field a full roster for road trips for the remainder of the season. Boy, if the Gauchos can come away with the result here and know that they have those 2 points in their back pocket from tomorrow as well, especially with this Titan team heading to Simi Valley to take on CSUN, it's really all there to play for tonight for the Gauchos.
Yeah, the schedule doesn't get any easier this weekend for the Titans, but for the Gauchos, a good result here would give them the 3-4-3 on the weekend. And that would be something that if you're the Gauchos, you take running away happy as the weekend heads into the final regular season weekend next weekend.
Dylan Kammer with rockets on his skates. Wrist it high over top. Gauchos able to get it out to neutral territory. Barone for Awaziak, but it's played back by Northgrave for Kammer. Kammer with but a helper so far in the game tonight for Fullerton, as hit delivered by Vieira along the near side wall. He plays it forward for Herlihy. Herlihy gains center red and shoots it back behind. Awaziak will chip it towards the front of the net, picked up by Andrew Wong. Turnover, intercepted by Anchondo, but the whistle goes.
And I don't know why it went. Is the net off back behind the goaltender, or? It definitely looked like there were some puddles back behind the net as Fullerton was struggling to handle that puck. And that can happen if you start the game before the ice fully dries out.
Of course, there was a bit of delay before starting this third period, and our start time for the contest was pushed back 5-10 minutes as the ice crew here at Ice in Paradise made sure to give an extra cut or two before going with the flood. So
public skating on the rink before tonight's action, so players will appreciate that little bit of extra care.
Anderson wins the draw, back to the line, nice blocker saves through traffic on Schmitz by Baba. Slankovic for Anchondo. Anchondo for Slankovic. Baba had his feet taken out from under him. Play on. Slankovic. Across the high slot, lost the puck. Area feed, Kiner intercepts. Slankovic will give it back to him. Stretch feed too far, and the Gauchos have iced the puck a minute and 18 seconds into the third.
And it looks like they're arguing that Fullerton had an opportunity to play that puck and instead chose not to. But the officials are going to keep up that winning streak of not losing those arguments. So we'll come all the way back down into the Gauchos' end.
That's what those orange armbands on the uniform mean, right?
That means you don't lose an argument, and you haven't for 100 years, and you probably won't anytime soon.
Gauchos win the defensive zone draw. Anderson able to fight it through Kammer, but couldn't get it past Cortez. Kammer now. Sweeped away from him on Chondo, will angle it out. Cortez plays wide to Maloney, sticks it back behind. Karma feels the heat, plays for Abdallah. Tries to go glass and out. Kammer knocked it down, held in at the point, and shoveled for Northgrave. Maloney throws it in front. Karma kicks it to the near wall. Slapper through traffic, deflects, and Abdallah able to skate it forward. Ehrenberg dispossessed by Bodge. Played back behind the net for Wong. Kammer touches it back to him. Wong, forechecking pressure from Abdallah. Will give it up to the Titan captain. Wong from Maloney, sending it wide. Center red gained and shot back behind by Bodge. Karma for Abdallah. Vinny, long area feed, good sauce on that. Lobiondo. Jobs lead the charge out for Fullerton. Stretch feed, tipped in. On the correct side of center by Maloney to force the Gauchos to work from their own end of the rink. Vieira, pass, too far for Barone to handle, but he'll angle it back into his own end where Owasiak re-racks. Valois, under pressure, can't get it out. Shot from the line, deflected, score, and it's a rotten bit of luck as Anton Kulinich, I think, was the one who changed the trajectory of the shot. Cordes gets credit for his second goal of the game, and we're tied 4-4.
Oh yeah, you said it. It absolutely was rotten luck. That puck was traveling well wide, and it just hit the foot of a Gaucho defender and went right past Lennon Karma. So the Gauchos, the beneficiary of a bounce in the second period to give themselves a lead. Of course, this one coming back and coming back to haunt them. Maybe, a little bit of karma coming back the other way, but unfortunately the karma in net for the Gauchos, not able to keep that one out, and we're back to tied at 4.
Second of the night, fourth of the season for Cordes. As the Gauchos look to work it forward. Barone gives it up along the far wall. Herlihy leaves it for Barone. Has Owasiak in front. Can't get it to him. Cordes sells out to block it to the far boards. Herlihy back to the point. Hesitation. Shot. Hit the man in front. Save made. Baba rebound, and he's able to cover.
Oh, the Gauchos almost with the instantaneous response. And Baba with his best save of the night. A partial block in front of the net falls right to the waiting stick blade of, I believe it was Tyler Barone, sitting in the mid-slot right at the hash marks, and Baba able to bail his defense out with a outstanding 10-bell save.
Draw stalemated, poked through Anderson and Bodge. Played to the line, and it hops the stick of Kulinich. Angles to the near boards for Kiner. Anderson couldn't get it beyond Wong, who plays it back behind. Karma nearly lost the handle. And now on the forecheck, Fullerton creates the turnover. Played to the front. Hops the stick of Maloney. Got as far as Wong, but he angles it back in for the Gauchos to reset. Vieira for Slankovic. Slankovic can't get it out. Shot from the point, hits a man in the slot. Big slapper, just wide by Maloney. Puck kicked along behind by Bodge. Center to the slot, all alone, score! Northgrave found his man alone in the slot, and Fullerton's back ahead, 5-4.
And this is indecision in the defensive zone from the Gauchos defense, having a couple opportunities with which they could have gotten the puck back out, but a little bit of hesitation, maybe gripping the stick a little bit too hard, and they turn the puck over to that aggressive forecheck for Fullerton, and a man left alone in front, winding up being James Maloney, who burned them before. gets the go-ahead goal, and Fullerton coming out strong, responding, not only getting the tying goal, they're now out in front. The Gauchos have about 15 minutes to respond, or they're going to risk dropping this one.
Trying to get from out their own end. Abdallah angles it back for Valois. Check that. Arenberg can't get it out. Up the far way. Vieira forced back by Norman. Kammer. Ahead for Gunstream. Hit at the line. But Norman able to work it to the backboards. Shove it off of Arenberg. Kammer slapper. Just wide. Held in near point. Cordes. Attempted feed to the slot. Intercepted. And now Abdallah. Stood up by Kammer at the Fullerton blue line. Gauchos go for a shift change. Norman for Gunstream. Kammer touched it at the blue line, but the Gauchos, just unable to catch Fullerton in the change there. Held in, though, at the point by Herlihy. Shot! Saved by Baba. Barone couldn't get the rebound and tried to send it to the slot for Owaziuk. Kammer gets the clear, the length of the sheet for the Fullerton icing with 13:46 to go in the third.
Good response from ice hockey at UCSB, coming down and earning an opportunity of their own. Baba has already come up with 2 outstanding saves here in this third period. Those saves that you have to remember if this result holds coming down the stretch. Ice hockey at UCSB may be looking back a little bit, wondering what might have been, but for Fullerton, got to have your goaltender coming up with those saves if you want to come out on top with it. Baba's given them a few so far.
That goal by Maloney, second in the game, and now team leading 18th of the season for Cal State Fullerton. Owaziuk couldn't get it deeper, angled out by Northgrave. Northgrave gives up for Norman, rolls it to the low slot, stick checked away from him. Point held, Northgrave sends it back to the line. Held in the shot, goes back behind. Carmel lost it. And a fluttering try by Jobs. Long pass, Herlihy just can't get the handle and given the heavy ride to the back wall by Wong. Barone, though, there to try and stick it away from Jobs in the far corner. Barone waiting. Barone walks through 2 men. Barone pass to the slot. Shot! Score! Chris Owaziuk! Off the great bit of work from Barone, far boards, able to get it to the low slot, and it took their second try on the play, but the sophomore from Santa Barbara able to tie us at 5.
And it's a pinball play in front of the Fullerton goaltender that winds up getting behind and into the net. As you said, I believe this is going to be Owaziuk's goal, but the shove to the front was also partially blocked, and a couple little rebounds wound up fooling the goaltender. The Gauchos said it once already tonight. Take them how you can get them. They are back even.
4th goal of the season for Owaziuk as Fullerton looks for the immediate response. Kammer from the line hoists it wide. They dig for it along the near boards. Popped up in the air, controlled by Bodge. For Gunstream, tries to walk it through the slot. Settles for Bodge. Great reaction save by Karma. Kammer walks the line, waits for traffic. His shot hit the man in front, rebound shoveled behind. Puck comes free, and the Gauchos able to break it through neutral ice, but Kammer intercepts. Lost the puck at the top of the far circle. Anderson touched forward. Here's on Chondo. Maybe a 2-on-1 here was Plenkovic. His shot just wide of the glove.
Boy, he didn't miss by much either. That was off by maybe 2 inches.
11:35 to go in the third. Slankovic sends it to the backboards on Chondo. Couldn't get there first. Kulinich. Oh, the Gauchos almost caught in the line change there, but good alertness on the Ketz family player bench to prevent the too many men minor. Baba with Abdallah, causing issues for him. Long works it forward for Hayton. His shot caught by Karma confidently at the top of the crease.
And that shot was ticketed for right over Lennon Karma's shoulder. A bit of an awkward placement for that one. Nonetheless, Karma, cool and collected, gets the glove up. Kind of holds it out there like a catcher trying to convince the umpire for strike 3 if we're going to keep going with the baseball metaphors. That one was delivered right down the pipe.
Still hockey season, man. I don't want to think about pitchers and catchers yet.
They don't report for a little while, right?
For the MLB, at least. Gauchos break it out. Abdallah making a pest of himself, but Norman able to work it forward. Northgrave turned it too far for Hayton. Lobiondo. Now Jobs. Hayton couldn't get beyond the Gaucho blue line, but now Norman with a chance in, up the near wing. Norman to his backhand. Karma challenging, makes the save, and Schmitz tries to sweep the rebound away. Kiner chips it along for Abdallah, held in at the line for a moment by Kammer, but Ehrenberg rolls it into the Fullerton end. On the forecheck, very nearly took the puck away from Cordes, but he's able to find Kammer. Karma looking to play it out himself. Norman intercepts. Second try off the glass to the line, not out. Cordes shot. Kicked to the near boards by Karma. Heavy hockey from Fullerton here. Gauchos need a zone escape. Shot save made. Karma rebound score. Cordes' shot from the line. Karma couldn't control the rebound, and Fullerton's back in front.
I believe it's James Hayton who's going to get credit for this one. The shot from the point, and it just gets through Karma on the 5-hole. Didn't really know where it was behind him. The defense not able to sweep it away in time, and it's a gaping 4x6 that Fullerton gets to first, and it's just a quick whack, and the puck is into the back of the net, and the Gauchos, after coming back to tie this one, find themselves back down again. But the good news is they've got plenty of time. There's 9:37 remaining here in the game.
Huge goal for Hayton. It's his 4th of the season. Kowalczyk and the Gauchos look for a response. Sent in front. Just a hair behind Herlihy. Valois holds in. Herlihy drops back. Shot. Kick save Baba. Rebound. Just bounced away from Barone. Back from the line. Valois hammers it for Herlihy near corner. Cross looking for Kowalczyk. Poked away from him by Jobs. Kowalczyk for Barone. Barone on the backhand. Fights the man off. It lands for a shot. Great save by Baba. As Herlihy and Barone both poking for rebounds, and a big lumberjack chop taken by Scott Baba.
We've seen plenty of those tonight, and I believe this may go as another penalty to Fullerton. So once again, Baba throwing the lumber around is going to get a penalty. Although, they're going to take Barone with this too.
So Barone for the poke.
I kind of
And
disagree
Baba
with that.
for the slash.
I disagree with that call on Barone. Barone looked as though he just kind of buzzed to the front of the net. There really wasn't much of a poke in there.
5-on-5. 2 minutes apiece.
And they're going to make this 4-on-4.
So plenty of ice there.
Keep your eyes open for number 10, Dylan Kammer. Boy, does he love these situations.
Big face-off coming here for Ryan Anderson. Coach Hires and assistant coach John Kowalczyk looking for an explanation on the Gaucho end. As Kammer curls behind his net with it. That penalty on Barone, real big one, as he's a player who's generally the beneficiary of added space on the ice sheet. Kammer for Cordes. His shot going high, going wide, no matter.
Karma just grabs that one out of the air, says we'll slow this one down, take it from the top, start over.
Fullerton scored their first goal of the game at 4-on-4. Draw stalemated, and Vieira swings it around for Valois. Valois, long shot. Baba settles things down and will freeze it with 8:15 to go in the third period.
Gauchos getting the offensive zone faceoff. Instances like that, not necessarily a bad idea. Just put the puck on net. Best case scenario, it finds a way to trickle through. Not quite as good case scenario, it leaves a rebound. Worst case scenario, you get the offensive zone faceoff.
Owalczyk wins it back for Vieira. His shot stopped by Baba. Kemmer plays it forward for Bodge. Bodge slash skating wide. Curls away from the Vieira hit. Valois for AV. Gets it back. Owalczyk tangled up with Kemmer. Got help from Valois, but the Gauchos now able to get it out. Owalczyk walks by Cordes. Owalczyk in. Shoots just wide of the blocker. 35 seconds remaining in 4-on-4. Vieira. And now Kemmer. Plays it off the back of his cage to Cordes. Normand for Kemmer. On the carry-in. Kemmer, shot, save made by Karma. The rebound, chipped just to the back wall. Turning around, trying to walk it in front. Normand hesitates, sends it back to the line. Wong, shot just wide of the far post. Normand plays it to the backboards. Hayton tried to work it out in front. And now we're back to 5-on-5 as Abdallah gains center red and shoots it in. Jumps. Barone battles for it near corner. Gunstream moves it along. Wong. Gathered in at the Gaucho blue line by Mitch Kiner. Baba gives it back for Wong. Intercepted by Barone. Barone looked to kick it free. Jobs behind the net. Played forward. Gunstream touches for Normand. And Barone comes up with the steal. Kicks it to the far corner. And cleared back out. Long slapper by Kiner. Gathered and held by Baba. 6 minutes even to go in the third. 6-5 to Fullerton.
And this is the point in the game where the clock starts to really become the ally of the team with the lead. So for Fullerton, doing the best they can to just defend this, keep the Gauchos to the outside, limit the opportunities that UCSB gets. Looks like Baba headed to the bench. It looks like it's probably just an equipment issue.
I think he was trying to trade out his water bottle.
Well, yeah, I guess we could call that an equipment issue. That's a very important piece.
Anderson, offensive zone draw for UCSB.
Bodge getting kicked out of the circle here.
So now it's Maloney on the draw.
And we got another whistle.
Apologies for the choice language from the ice sheet. Hockey players always creative in their verbiage. As Vieira drops for Anderson. Played in front, trying to look back post for Anchondo. Vieira gathers it in. Vieira trying to get the return feed from Anchondo. Sent back to the point. Valois. Slenkovic. Knocked free from him by Cordes to the line, but not out. Yes, it was. Gauchos have to touch up. Swept along by Maloney. Left for Valois. Tries to go up the middle. Chance just wide by Maloney. Sends it back to the point. Jobs through traffic. Karma kicks it near wall. Angled forward by Slankovic. Wins the puck battle, but can't get it to the low slot. Anderson. Taken away from him by Bodge. Gains the blue line. Stood up there, Vieira. On Chondo. Nice tip play to chase it down himself by Anderson. Anderson, 2 blue shirts on him. Slankovic on support. As Fullerton, both Wong and Jobs, pin it to the board, sent to the point by Vieira. Plays it back behind. Herlihy tries to send it to the slot. Slankovic now. Gauchos in the midst of a line change. Slankovic shot, blocked wide by Baba. Valois across the low slot, and Gauchos in the midst of a change here, but Barone does a nice job. Takes the hit at the red line, trying to move it forward for Owasiuk. He lost an edge, but able to get it to Owasiuk. Owasiuk can't get it by Kammer. Sweeps the puck to the near corner. 3:55 to go in the third. Kulinic, long shot. Kicked wide by Baba. Barone gathers the rebound and gives for Herlihy in the corner. Herlihy loses his footing. Played forward for Gunstream. Gunstream stood up at the Gaucho blue line by Kulinic, but Norman angles it back behind. Kulinic from Smith. Played forward, and this will go back into the Fullerton end, but not enough pace on it for icing. Cordes, stretch feed, intercepted. Bit of a mishandle. The Gauchos able to come away with it. And Schmitz gets it deep for the Gauchos. Kammer, far wall, Abdallah plays it deep. Abdallah tries to work it behind the net. Cordes tangling with him, Kammer there as well. Ehrenberg curling away, trying to send it in front. For Abdallah, stolen by Kammer. Played up the near boards for Hayton. His goal, the difference in the game for Fullerton. Shot it in on the wrong side of the red, though, and an offensive zone draw coming for the Gauchos with 2:43 to go in the third.
And this is the point where you got to start keeping an eye on Gaucho netminder Lennon Karma. Coach Scott Heyer's got to be thinking about, okay, when's my opportunity to pull the goaltender, get the extra attacker out there. 2:43 remaining here. The Gauchos need a goal to tie.
This is right about in that sweet spot where the numbers tell you that NHL teams are most successful at pulling the goalie for another man. On Chondo, shot hit Kammer, kicked back to him by Slankovic, and now on Chondo plays for Slankovic in the corner, looking to work free from Kammer. On Chondo, Anderson in there to win the puck. Back to the point, shot through traffic. Baba the kick save on Vieira. Anderson for Chondo, tries to sweep it around. Norman to steal. Valois just able to hold the blue line. Kammer back to the point. Valois through traffic, hit the man in front. Slankovic, and
Crease violation. Ryan
Baba
Anderson
lost his footing.
Ryan Anderson caught going right through the back of the crease behind Baba. So this is going to come all the way outside the blue line as Anderson went through the back of the goal crease.
1:56 to go in the third. Anderson on Chondo, Slankovic, the forwards for the Gauchos. As Fullerton drags this change out here. Slankovic over the line for Anderson. Anderson had it poked away from him. Maloney works it along. Sent in. Fullerton touches up. Long feed for Barone off the bench. Good job by Cordes using the angle. Backhanded back into the Gaucho end. On Chondo. Off the glass looking for Barone. Cordes, a big hit on him. Wong turns with it. Killing some extra time off. Takes the return from Cordes, plays it forward, touched in by Bodge. Vieira curls around the net with it with 1 minute to go in the third period. Vieira angles it in up the near wall. Vieira behind the net with it. Vieira. Karma has gone to the bench for the extra attacker. Slankovic behind the net. Slankovic back to the line. All kinds of traffic. Vieira hit Norman. Norman knocks the puck free. It's a foot race with Valois. Norman will win it and shoot it over top of the net.
I think Valois got a stick on that to keep it out.
30 seconds to go. And Fullerton chips the puck up in to the Gaucho bench with 28.7 remaining in regulation.
What a hustle play from Eric Valois to get there and break up that shot at the last possible moment. I expect UCSB to use their timeout here, and it appears as though they have. Coach Scott Heyer is going to talk this over with the guys on the ice, maybe get them just a little bit of an extra breather.
And the Gauchos have really leaned on Slankovic and on Chondo, as well as this top defense pair of Vieira and Valois. Have to imagine that Tyler Barone's going to be out there as well.
I believe he was the sixth man on.
UCSB.
Huge face-off coming up here for the Gauchos. They have absolutely got to control this one. Just a handful of seconds remaining. And needing one to tie here late.
This is the lone game tonight in the West Coast Hockey Conference, and it looks like Lennon Karma is going to be going back in the cage.
That makes sense. I believe this face-off is going to be just outside the UCSB blue line.
This is where I wonder, mayhaps keep the sixth skater out there, but have them play pseudo goalie?
Have them just kind of stand in front of that goal crease a little bit.
Gauchos need one to tie here.
Fullerton throwing their power line over the boards as well. James Maloney line that's been just devastating all night.
Bodge on the big draw for Fullerton against Barone. Wins it. Stretch feed up the near wing for Vieira. Shot back behind. Gauchos dig for it. Far boards of Wozniak back to the point. Valois, high tip play, goes just wide. 10 seconds as Fullerton trying to just slow things down here. Look to dig it free. The Gauchos won't be able to, as Fullerton able to steal the victory here in the final frame. A 6-5 final and a season series sweep over the Gauchos. Fullerton scores 3 times in the third to break the hearts of the Gauchos and send UCSB to 6-6-0 on the regular season and 4-5-0, or 4-6-0 I should say, in West Coast Hockey Conference action. It was a result, Kyle, where the opportunities were there for the Gauchos, just could not convert at the absolute final moments, and all credit in the world to Fullerton goalie Scott Baba picking up his second win of the season. Fullerton now 7-8-0 overall and 6-5-0 in WCHC play, and you have to figure these two teams virtually on a collision course in the conference postseason. I know I want to see another chapter of this.
And we're probably going to as well. Granted, UCSB not necessarily mathematically locked in to that 5th spot. They could still fall to 6th, although it seems very unlikely that that's going to happen. But we made a little bit of mention of those 2 saves that Baba made in the third period, especially the 2 right after Fullerton went ahead with this 6-5 score. 2 massive stops to keep the Gauchos from tying it right back up, and those wound up being difference makers when it came down to it. Ice hockey at UCSB not able to generate enough at the very end, and as you say, a bit of a heartbreaker here for the Gauchos, who played probably their best game of the season, I would say. It was their highest offensive output we've seen all year in a losing effort. For tonight, the most they had gotten in a loss was just 3 goals, getting 5 here tonight. Very encouraging signs from this team, but you have to wonder, with this Fullerton team that was playing with just 10 skaters tonight, with the Gauchos moving well, you have to wonder, should this have been a game that they won? And with the way they started this third period, I think that's the spot that UCSB is going to come to regret. They started the third period tentative. They seemed a little bit intimidated by the prospects they had of trying to hold the lead, and Fullerton jumped on them right away. The forecheck immediately renewed. They took control. They pretty much dominated the first 7 to 8 minutes of this period, and by the time UCSB was able to get their legs back underneath them and start pushing back, they were already down a goal, and unfortunately they weren't able to pull it back.
It's another multi-point night for Zach Anchondo, a goal and 2 assists. Cole Slankovich with a goal and an assist for the Gauchos. Tyler Barone finishes with a goal and 2 helpers for the Gauchos. As you mentioned, Kyle, Fullerton able to get 2 goals in the first 44, the third period. Ryan Cordes with his second goal of the game, a seeing eye shot that hit a Gaucho defenseman's stick in front and fluttered over top of Karma. James Maloney would give Fullerton the lead at 4:44, assisted by Matthew Northgrave and Matt Bodge. UCSB would draw it back even on the goal by Chris Owaziak, assisted by Tyler Barone, but the game-winning goal for Fullerton coming at 10:23 off the stick of James Hayton, with the assist coming from Cordes. So Cordes with a 3-point night, 2 goals and a helper for Cal State Fullerton as they come away with the win here. The Gauchos, though, will see the weekend with 2 wins in the win column. They'll be 7-6-0 overall, and they will be 5-6-0, of course, as Chapman University has forfeit the game that was scheduled for tomorrow. So the next time we will be on the air with you on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network will be when the Gauchos play their final road game of the regular season at the CSUN Matadors on February the 1st, before their final scheduled regular season home game, February the 3rd, against the team they're trying to stay above in the standings, the UC San Diego Titans. Final thoughts here, Kyle, as you also give us the final shots on the Ice in Paradise post-game show. Remember, students, you can take advantage of student nights every Saturday, 10 p.m. to midnight, $10 for skate rentals. As well, you get the opportunity to enjoy live music from a DJ and the thrilling light show spectacular that you can only see here in Santa Barbara's premier ice rink.
The final shot total for tonight's game, dead even, 37 apiece on this one. So 1 goal separates the 2 teams at the end. Not much separated the 2 teams all night long, and nothing separated them on the shot on goal counter. It's about as close as we've seen the Gauchos play a game all season long. Like you said, bit of a heartbreaker with the way that it went down, unfortunately, for the Gauchos at the end. But I think there's a lot that they can take from this one, a lot to be positive and a lot to be proud of. But again, Fullerton gets the last laugh in this one. And with these 2, as you say, on the collision course for the playoff matchup, you got to think that it's only going to get even tougher for the Gauchos when they meet again down in Artesia for the playoffs.
And it was our pleasure to bring it to you tonight here on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Broadcast Network. For everyone on our broadcast crew, cameraman Jesse Gutierrez at center ice, our technical producer and statistician Jasmine Kellogg, producer Will Hahn, third man rinkside Arthur Wilkie, and for my color commentator Kyle Nicholas, my name is Eric Evelhawk. Gauchos lose a heartbreaker tonight, 6-5. They'll be back at it against CSUN next weekend. Hope you can join us for that. Be sure you're keeping up with the Gauchos on the Ice Hockey at UCSB Facebook page, following on Twitter, and subscribing to the channel on YouTube. Until it's Gauchos versus Matadors, from all of us in Goleta, good night and have a splendid rest of your Saturday. Gauchos fall 6-5. Goodbye, everybody.